Are live. So what's up, John? You told me that you got started when you're what, 11 years old,
Yeah, I
and
think that's probably when I started.
one of your biggest influence was your brother because you wanted to draw better than him.
Yeah.
So what was one of the main characters or one of the cartoon characters that he drew better than you that you wanted to?
Well, it wasn't really a specific character. It was more just in general. Like he was able to draw. Like his arms looked like arms, and mine were like noodles with like inflatable patches on them, or like like a piece of weird deformed meat or something. Like he had just a better eye for that kind of thing. But I think that's what. Yeah, I was like, okay, well, drawing. It kind of like I don't think I really noticed it as a therapeutic, but yeah, like at the time, like I would just sit there for, be
Hmm.
there drawing for like a good few minutes or hours sometimes, and it was like that. I don't really remember. I don't know. It was weird. Like I would get lost in it, kind of. You know what I mean? And I guess that feeling was cool.
Like a little ADD attention just.
Yeah, maybe.
No, but as you've clearly shown that your drawing skills have greatly increased from 11-year-old with this awesome Deadpool portrait you gave to me,
Thank you.
which is very awesome. I greatly appreciate that.
No
And
problem.
about how long did it take you to do that?
That one, since I kind of already had like the idea I wanted in my head, like normally it'll take me a while, like drawing a bunch of different, poses however I want. But I had like it's kind of like was already in my head at the time, so it wasn't very long. I want to say maybe like 5 hours just to draw it, ink it, and then color it all together. Yeah.
And like, do you just do like portrait sizes of this size of a canvas, or do you do canvases as large as this?
I haven't, but I have one that I want to do. It's a giant. Like I guess it's pretty much the same size as that one, just mm, taller than that for sure. I think. And I have an idea that I want for that too, but it's not really completed. I guess so. I haven't tried to do it because I don't want to leave any kind of like marks that I'm gonna see later and regret having on there. So I think I'm still gonna wait on that one. But I mean, I do like a bunch of different. At Walmart they were selling these like smaller canvases, and I was doing a bunch of those just because they were small and I could throw them out like
Yeah.
easy. But yeah, I kind of just work with. I mean, anything. I'm up to the challenge to drawing something that big. But yeah,
Well, how's this for a challenge? I know canvases can get expensive as they get bigger.
yeah,
Because I remember when I was going to UTSA and I took the art class for non majors.
uh huh,
Like my final project art was my bicycle standing against my brick house,
huh.
and it took me. Well, I was procrastinating a lot on it, on drawing it, and when the professor came around, it was all like, "All right, I hope everyone's been doing their final art project."
Hmm.
And I was like, "Ooh, I need to get started on it." It's like 3 days till you have
God.
to submit it, and I literally spent probably like the next 2 days just painting it, like just straight through. Like it was canvas about this huge.
Dang.
I was using acrylic oil,
Yeah, I can't mess with
so
oil paint.
it was like I laid down like a plastic tarp, just so, and I was wearing raggedy clothes because
You
that
can get messy with that.
well, yeah, because that acrylic oils is just like if you're not paying attention where it's at, it'll get on your clothes and it'll
Yeah.
get stuck there. Uh, but yeah, it took me probably I was working straight through that thing, probably like 40 hours,
God.
like over 3 days. It was nuts.
Yeah, and I think with my problem too, like as much as I like to draw, I can only do it for maybe like a few hours at a time, and then like one or two, and then after that, I'm like my hand's starting to hurt. I need to step away just because I don't know what I'm doing anymore. I just need to take a mental break.
Well, it got to one point where I literally fell asleep painting painting on the canvas, and like I was almost done, and I was just painting, and all of a sudden I woke up. I was like, "Oh no, what time is it? I need to finish." So like I finished like the day before, but given that it was acrylic oil paint,
You have to have
it
dry.
needs time to dry. But I had to take it to like class the next day, and it was such a hassle, like trying to carry that
Make
thing
sure it's
without
not
trying to get
touching.
yeah. Yeah, but no, look, fortunate enough, like I don't know, maybe the art teacher just was like grateful that I put in the effort to paint something that big, because he gave me like a A-, so I was like,
That's
that's
good.
fine with
Yeah.
me. But
Did you keep it?
oh yeah, I have it hanging
Yeah.
in my bedroom. It's just it's not as good as like the mosquito, or definitely not as good as that. So it's very like you said, it's very hard to show like your art to other
Yeah.
people because you always believe like it's not good enough.
Yeah.
And like well, explain your story, how like you felt.
Well, no, I think it was more just for as an artist. Like I never think I'm, of course you're never gonna think like something's done. You can always add more to it, and I didn't really realize that's what it was at the time. So I was always just thinking like, like no, this isn't done yet, or I don't want, no one. It's I wouldn't show anybody just because it wasn't. I didn't think it was ready, or I wouldn't try and do like make copies or do anything like that because like I said I didn't think it was ready, but now I've kind of gotten the hang of like learning to just leave it alone now and jump on to the next one so that way I
But
can.
is art truly finished whenever you think you're finished,
No,
or is
that's
there
what I'm.
something
Yeah,
else?
that's what I'm saying. There's always something I'm thinking like I could always add a few more lines here or shadows here or something that, and I mean, of course it would make it look better, but I guess just to so that way I'm not just spending like a whole bunch of time on the one project. I can get more things. Like I'm trying to do the shows, so I can get more things done to have for like
Now,
everyone.
how many shows have you been doing since?
I've only done the one. It was my friend's bear market. I think it was the fourth one.
Mhm.
And I was gonna do the one yesterday, but since
But
the
the
weather,
rain.
yeah, and yeah, but I mean, I'm open to doing as many as I can. Is just to like I said, have the get I guess like other people's
Hmm.
feedback and stuff like that. Like I mean,
Well,
I'm trying to get like I personally like the superhero stuff, so I do a lot of that. But like my brother's like into horror and stuff, and I have a few friends that are like that too. So I want to try and do like things like that for them, and like even like just random like cartoony things that like I guess just other people would like things like
well, another big one, which you already know because Dragon Ball Z is one of them anime, like
yeah,
doing anime,
yeah,
even doing conceptual artwork for off of video game
yeah,
characters.
yeah,
Like for me, I love seeing like Final Fantasy,
artwork and
well,
stuff.
specifically Final Fantasy 7 artwork because it's just like the storyline. If you actually like played the game out and like played out the storyline, and then you see like where the artist was trying to take that picture, because like
Hmm.
they'll take a scene from that story and then use the background, and then they're like, oh, okay, I see what they're trying to do here.
Oh,
So like things like that, but
yeah,
uh, that's just things like I like.
yeah.
But
That's why like I'm trying to do like yeah to make sure I have like a little bit of something for
for
everyone.
everybody,
Yeah,
now I know you said you wanted to like earlier in our conversations before the podcast, you wanted to your dream would be to draw cartoon comics
yeah,
for some of the big names like Capcom, Marvel.
yeah. Of course.
So what would be like your second best goal, dream job?
I guess anything that I could make like a living kind of off of like again since I'm good at cartoons like even like a children's book illustrator or something, you know what I mean, like I can do a few of those, or just something to where I like I'm using my art, you know what I mean, like or I'm able to do that for a living. So yeah, I mean even if it was like depending on how well the like these next shows go and stuff, like doing that, like if it's enough to, help me like I guess be stable, then I mean I'll
Uh,
stick with that,
isn't that the
but
dream? Crafting your own art, but also earning a living wage off of it. I
yeah.
wouldn't say like a luxury wage,
Yeah, of course I'm not
but
thinking.
and that's like my whole thing. Like if I can just like live past that, just a little notch past that, like livable wage, where
Yeah.
like you're just comfortable,
Yeah.
like that would be the ultimate dream.
Yeah,
Just
that's what I'm
not have
not
to worry about bills. Just don't live extravagant. I can't say it right now. Luxuries. Oh man, tongue tied today. 10:30 in the morning. I got my mind elsewhere on
Yeah,
going to
it's
the
just early.
beach. Well, no, I'm just so excited about just going to the beach.
Oh, okay.
So that's one of the reasons why. I mean, I wanted
Yeah.
to start this podcast early, get it
Yeah.
done. But yeah, just like if you can find something that you love to do passionately, and if you can make a livable wage off of it, why not? I mean,
Yeah.
you're doing something that someone else wouldn't do, that
Yeah.
either someone doesn't have the courage to do, or just say, I'll get around to it later.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that do that nowadays, like, oh, I'll do it later. I'll do
Yeah.
it later. And which will lead to like what we were talking. Also, another thing that we were talking about earlier was that book I was telling you about, the War
The
of
War of
Art.
Art. Yeah.
Yeah, where he talks about like all the distractions were basically resistance, and
Mm-hmm.
he talked about how like resistance, how he overcome his own resistance, and how you might be able to do the same thing
Yeah.
if you have like a particular craft or art that you want to specialize in or get better in.
Yeah.
It's just basically just sitting down, hammering it out. Just whether
Actually
for
doing
him
it.
it was writing a book, but just writing, typing away. For you, it would probably be just drawing,
Yeah.
putting something down on a piece of paper.
Yeah.
And for me, it's just like I gotta learn. I gotta learn. I gotta learn. I gotta learn. So I'll be like reading books. I'll read a bunch of online forums,
Mm-hmm.
YouTube. It's just trying to gather all that knowledge and trying to configure the best idea that would work for you.
Yeah.
Because that's the main thing. It's just trying to figure out the best form of idea that will work for you. When all you got all these other great ideas, but those ideas work for those people. I need
Yeah.
to construct an idea that will work for me.
Yeah, and I've even started like I want to try and get into like airbrushing and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm thinking like even if I can get good at that, like I I could want to try and do like car details. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
that would still be something I'd like to do. You know, like that just putting my art on someone's car they're gonna drive around, and you know what I mean? Like even if it was like their idea, but it's still how I
Mm-hmm.
turn it into. So
Have
I think that would be cool.
Have you floated with the idea of stenciling or using chalk?
I have not, but I mean, I've made like some stencils for like because I had just started buying like spray paint because I want to try and like just mix it up, do different things, and so I made some stencils just to do like quick little, just to put on stuff. But like I did a Batman stencil, and I've done like I guess like Harley Quinn lettering style thing. Like it just says Harley Quinn, but it's like from that her
What
comic series lettering.
What would you say is like your best like painting, drawing, or artwork that you put out so far? Or
Um,
what do you feel like you're most proud of? Like you feel most accomplished?
I would. I don't know. I like all of them equally, but I think I guess just because it took me a while to finish that one, it was another canvas, but it's of the Joker, the Killing Joke cover.
Mm-hmm.
I had drawn that and colored it, and I had started that thing like years ago, and I put it down. I never picked it up, and I was doing other thing. Like it was just the pencils just sitting there for like the longest time, and when I was gonna start doing the art show, I was like, that would be something I want to finish, just to put out there because it's just been sitting there for the longest time. So I went and I finished that, and after I did the ink and the color, like I was a little worried about the color at first because I wasn't sure how I had two different purples, and one of them was really dark and the other one was kind of light,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't know how I was gonna mix that up right, or if it was gonna show right because I've done like the way the markers look on the canvas, you can see like the streaks, and I was hoping it was gonna be a bit more smoother, like how the red is, but it wasn't that great. You couldn't with like the heavy black shadow on that the Joker had, and as dark of a purple as that was, it kind of didn't look right. But I went through and finished it anyway, and I think when it dried, it looked a lot better. Like when the ink dried, so
Yeah,
I was
I
happy with
think
that a lot.
when especially all oils, all types of forms of painting,
Ink
drawing,
or
like
yeah,
when especially if it's like a wet like source of ink,
yeah, it's definitely
like
gonna be
when
darker.
it dries, like you really see what it becomes. Like
Yeah,
it gives it that texture maybe it was missing.
yeah, and I mean it. I still think it's kind of dark, but I'm happy with it. Like I'm definitely just because I finished it, and like that thing. Like I said, it was sitting there for years, so I think that's probably the one that I'm the
Well,
most happy
it's
about.
like you said, like there's always something you can do, so it's never completed.
Yeah, yeah,
And I mean that's the way like when I finished like my art project from like when I thought it was done,
hmm
I was like so relieved, like oh. And then when I got my A minus, I was even grateful. Like I was like, oh, I I waited to the last minute to paint this thing, and somehow I still pulled it off.
yeah.
And I was just all like, I don't know how I did this, but afterwards, after I painted it, after I got my grade back, and I was looking at it, I was all like, this thing I could do a little, add a little more paint here, add a little more detail here,
Yeah.
and then I'm just all like, no, no, I'll never stop if I just keep going. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm done with this. Like the canvas alone cost me like $50.
God.
The acrylic oil paints probably cost me. Ah man, the oil's not cheap. It's like
Yeah, it's not.
$20 a tube.
Yeah.
I love painting with acrylic oil. It's just it gets expensive with the brushes and then the mess.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's it just gets everywhere. I ruined so many of my favorite clothes because when when you first go to art class, well, at least me, like I was thinking like, oh, we're gonna do like water based paint or something. I wasn't expecting like
Dive right
coming
in.
in this class and the professor gives us like a supply sheet that's gonna cost us like $200 worth of
God.
supplies. I'm like, how am I gonna afford all this? And then he gives like suggestions like, okay, well, you don't have to buy this acrylic oil because some acrylic oil were like $40 a tube.
Yeah.
But it's ridiculous. Like you find ways to manage, or a lot of times you just share with other people in the classroom. It was fun. Like it's a lot different from taking like a short art class that lasts a day
hmm
when you expand that art class to like a whole semester. Like you just like he didn't go like into the history of art. He went into the discipline of art,
Oh,
how
okay.
to properly paint with a paintbrush. Like you
Yeah.
paint with the end,
Yeah.
like the
Yeah.
very tip of the
Like all the like
the back
techniques and
tip,
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's all like it's a more of an arm motion than a wrist
Yeah.
motion. And it was just like he was a great like guy, like awesome artist. I forget his name. Like he had like one of those weird like long broken last names. He was like a grad student
Oh, okay.
just doing this, I guess just for a paycheck.
Dang.
But
Yeah, I can't mess with paint. I mean, I would like to, and I'm sure I'm gonna get back into it. Like I'm trying with spray paint and airbrush, but like acrylic and watercolor and oil, that's always been hard for me. I've always been like a black and white ink, paper, pencil kind of guy.
well, you start off with black and white game.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, literally, like that was the first week. Probably like the first 2 weeks was just us like not painting stuff, but getting like our black and white colors right.
yeah.
Like going from black, light black, lighter black, gray, 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 lighter gray, 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 to the point you get to white. Like
Oh, okay. So like shadows and
yeah,
value and yeah.
yeah. So you figure out how to mix those different colors of just a lighter contrast or darker contrast.
Okay.
Like that was like the first like 2 weeks, just learning white and black balance, and then learning how to properly mix like the colors.
hmm
Because it's funny, like you think you learn this stuff when like you're in elementary school, how to mix colors,
Yeah.
and then when you get like for me when I got to college and I get to this class, I'm like, wait, how do you make green again? You just start playing around. You just make some weird colors. I was like, it's not what I want, but I'll try to use it.
Yeah. That's what I'm trying to with like those markers. It's like the Copic markers. I'm trying to like get better at like blending and with the different colors and stuff like that. And you can, I think, with some of my well, this is simpler kind of because he's an easier red
Hmm.
and black, But like I think some of the other ones that I have, I think I left them at the house, but they doesn't look as great.
Now, are you all just self-taught, or maybe a couple techniques you learned from your brother, or
uh,
have you actually like taken some courses?
well, in high school, I remember. Well, okay, I remember in middle school, like when they gave us the choice to have electives, I was like always putting art as my number one, and I never got it until like my last 2 years of high school, and so the my junior year I had art one, and that class didn't really teach me anything that I didn't already know. Like I
Hmm.
was already kind of like I had taught myself a good amount by then, just trial and error. But
So the teacher probably thought, "Oh, you're an amazing
yeah,
artist,"
yeah. Like
when you
she thought
already
I was
been
doing
doing it
really
for
good, but
years.
yeah, I was just like, I mean, I was taking the class because I wanted art, like I said. But when I had it, like I was like, well, it's an easy class to pass. The thing I did learn, I guess, was she was teaching us like, uh, how to like mold clay and like ceramic thing. So
Yeah, yeah.
that was cool, but I wasn't great at that. I'm better at drawing, so
I always remember like when I took art class, like when we're doing clay, you put them in the kennel.
yeah,
Like the teacher would be like, make sure I think punch a hole in it or something, so
yeah,
that way it doesn't explode.
yeah.
I was always trying to make it explode, but it never did. I was like, I think these teachers are just full of shit.
No, I didn't. I wanted to keep my stuff, so I did. I was
I,
always trying to.
that was just me though. I just wanted to see like, well, you say you can't do it because it'll explode. I think it'd just be pretty cool to come in
To
here and
see.
just be clay pieces everywhere. That's just my mindset, not thinking about how expensive that fire kennel is. What will be the repercussions of it
Yeah,
exploding? Like I'm
it's
just
funny.
thinking like short term. Oh, that'd be awesome if that
I wonder what that would
explodes.
look like.
Just walk in here and just clay pieces
God.
everywhere with shattered, broken thing, broken art supplies everywhere. I mean that was just my mindset. I just thought that would be awesome to do. Just
That's funny.
uh, good times. I mean I, I I know sometimes I like at that time I wish I would have done it, but I'm glad like I'm glad it didn't explode.
Yeah. I mean, some of my friends have done some dumb things there. I mean, me too, but like not in that kind of way. Like I know, like the one thing I'm thinking right now is my friend Fred. He was telling me he had put a like a little paper clip in the back of like one of the school computers, and like it's like it shut the computer down, and like everyone else's or something, and like so he kind of like got in trouble for that. But I was just thinking like, what kind of kid? Why would you do that? Like, what goes through your head to make you want to put a paper clip in there?
Just to see what things will do, man. No one's not gonna get hurt. I mean, you stick a paperclip in a computer, nobody's not gonna get hurt because of that.
I mean, I would think you would get shocked. I don't know. I mean, I'm glad he didn't, but that's what I would think trying to do that. So I would not.
Speaking of getting shocked, there was one time when I was in high school. I think I was working on a science fair project, probably my junior year,
Mhm.
and it was like late. It was like 7 o'clock, late at night, and I go walking around because I needed a break,
Uh-huh.
and I stopped by in the teachers' lounge, and there's like this weird thing with like a wheel, a gear, and then two forks. And at the time, I wasn't thinking. I was like, what is this?" Oh, what it basically was like a magneto charger.
Oh, okay, like a little generator thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when I wind it up, I was like, well, this thing doesn't do anything. And then I touched the forks. Oh man, that thing shocked me harder than I ever been shocked before. I never touched that thing ever again. I saw that thing in the teacher's lounge multiple times, and I was just like, I'm not gonna touch that. I know why now it's in there. So idiots go out
Dang.
there, wind it up, and then touch it.
That's
Uh,
terrible.
as like, I believe like I'm still like an idiot when it comes to like common sense things, just because like, or even things that I don't know. Like, it's just there's so much knowledge out there. It's just hard to know everything, and I don't agree with people when they say like, "Oh, I know everything." I'm like, no, you don't. You think you're smart? You're not
No,
smart.
yeah.
You just don't realize you're stupid.
That's funny.
Like, if you truly want to know, like, smart, level smart, like, I believe, like, Elon Musk and, like, Nikola Tesla, like, those people are smart.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's smart. We're all just a bunch of monkeys running around, just trying to figure things out.
Just flinging poop at each other.
Pretty much. That's what it seems like nowadays.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But you were saying you got started on Instagram, what, a year ago?
I maybe like 2. I want to say. Wait, what year are we in? No, actually now, yeah, about 3, 4. I don't want to say it was either late 2014 or 15 for sure. But
Post more stuff, dude.
yeah, I need to.
You got that live feed. You can be like, have it recording you while you're drawing, or something. Have someone recording you while you're drawing. So just do that. I mean, it's just. I think that's a lot of things that people like to see is just when, like, not the finished product. Like, it's one thing to see the finished product, but it's another thing to actually see, like, the artists or the people working on their craft, like, in the moment.
Yeah, like I've been meaning to do that, but again, I'll get lost in the drawing, and then I'm not even thinking about trying to record it. I'm just like, oh, this looks cool here, and starting, you know.
Well, yeah. I'll show you after the podcast, but there's this guy I follow on Instagram. He makes knives. And, like, I mean, full on workshop, and he'll, like, record and just him making a sword or not sword, knives, making a knife, and, like, he'll break it down. Like, he'll be like, look, what I'm doing here is that I'm trying to forge the metal to do diagonal stripes, so on, so on. But yeah,
that's cool.
I think that's just awesome. Like, how he's just showing how he's making the knife.
Yeah.
In the moment.
Yeah, like there's a bunch of like comic book artists that like I follow on Instagram, and like that's a lot of their work is, and like I get what you mean, like how they like to watch and see it being created, because like I watch a lot of them doing that, but again, when I'm doing it myself, I get lost in it, and I'm just like trying to finish it, and a lot of times I'll forget like to post the pictures. Like, I'll take a picture of it, like the in progress, like the pencil stage, and then starting the inks, and then when it's finished, and then adding the color and stuff. But like, I forget to post a lot of those.
You just gotta push them, man. Like, I know you get in your moment, like, it's hard. Like, even for me, sometimes, like, when I see something like unique outside, I'll be all like I'll be caught in the moment, just because I'm like, I'm taking it in for myself. I'm like, do I want to share this moment? I'm like, sometimes I'm like, nah, this is for me. When, how do I word this? When you have to, not have to, but when someone asks you to draw something and it doesn't inspire you, like, it's not something you're used to, how do you get inspired to do it?
That's a good question.
Like, where do you find inspiration for that art painting that someone asked you to do, when it's like, it's something new, or maybe something that you don't like to do, but this person really wants it and you want to do it for them? Like, where do you find that inspiration to draw something like that?
I don't think I've actually come across that problem yet.
No?
Most of like, I mean, I've only had like my friends ask me for like commission stuff, you know, so like what I've done for them, it's stuff that I was more or less interested. Like, my friend had asked me to do a giant Nightmare Before Christmas thing, like a poster sized oh
wow,
paper for it.
Nightmare Before Christmas? That's awesome. That's an awesome
exactly
concept.
So I liked it, so I had no problem doing that. And I drew like the cover scene with the moon and the swirly hill and them two on it and everything, and that was just different because I hadn't drawn anything on like as big as that, but it was fun because I got to put like all the little detail I wanted to, because it was so big. Like, it was cool. But I think the time frame he gave me was kind of close, so I didn't get to put like a lot of detail into like the hill and like, you know, like little things that I wanted, but like the characters themselves, I got that down pretty good, so that was what I was happy with. Yeah,
that's another thing. Like, I noticed that when you give an artist a time frame, like, they can come up with like this, like the same type of drawing, but it's not the same type of drawing if you give them 4 days to do it versus a month.
Yeah.
Like, you'll get 2 complete drawings. Like, it's not that it looks rush. It's just that it's uh, more. Maybe it's sharper. Maybe it's
Yeah,
just a
like
little
I
bit
had
more
more. Yeah,
detail.
you had more time to
Or you
think about
yeah, you
the
put a
idea.
little bit more of an idea. Like you give it like this,
Hmm.
this. I can tell like he's in a story. Like he's looking at something. Like what the fuck am I gonna do about this? So I like just play it cool.
Yeah.
That's just me. That's just how I see things. Like I try to like imagine like what was the artist thinking when he was painting this.
Yeah.
That's why like my parents used to take me all the time to like the San Antonio Art Museum
Hmm.
downtown just because I believe it was free. If it's not free, it's like really cheap. It's like
Yeah,
two
it's been a
three
while since I'd
dollars.
been there, but yeah.
But
It,
yeah, I just love how like just walking through there and just looking through all the art
hmm.
and just not really talking because I mean it's an art museum and not really supposed to talk. You're just
Yeah.
supposed to sit there and admire the art. And I think that's where I always had a fascination for art, and then always watching my brother, like he'll be drawing something. I'm just like, what is he drawing? I'm like, oh, man, how's he draw that?
Yeah.
And like I try to draw it, and I'm all like, nah, he can't be drawing that. He's got to be tracing that. No, he's actually drawing that because
Yeah.
not even when I trace it, I can trace like that good.
Yeah. I think for me at least, like I was always able to like break them down into like simpler shapes, you know. So
Hmm.
that's kind of what made it easier for me. I think because a lot of my friends are always like they don't they're like, oh, I, you know, every time I draw it's like stick figures or whatever, and I mean
Stick
I just
figures.
I just add to that, you know what I mean? You can build and turn that into something bigger. But yeah, that's usually what I would always start with, is just like simpler shapes, and then you know.
Now, what are the majority? Like, how would you rate your paintings? Like, as far as like let's say TV ratings, like PG. Like, how explicit are you willing to go with your painting?
Um, I
Like
don't.
like not only graphic violence, but also like just other things that may seem like out of the normal for other people.
I mean, I'm willing to draw. I guess whatever would come into my head, and that's not. I don't think there's. It's limited to, you know,
Hmm.
uh, just like I guess I don't want to like say kid friendly things, but you know what I mean. Like it's not just like the cartoons and superhero stuff. Like
Yeah,
I'd be
or
willing
way
to do.
way out of their ideas, like
Yeah.
just something that would like blow one person's mind, and then someone would be like, "I don't think that paint's right." Like, I mean, that's the way like art comes
Yeah.
across. Like, there's just
Yeah.
so many people with so many different opinions. Like, whether you draw something like friendly or you draw something graphic,
Yeah.
like you're always going to get like a mixed crowd for each drawing.
Yeah. And I mean, I figured at least right now, like the superhero thing is kind of in. So, I mean, that's more or less not the main reason why I've been doing it, but it's helped it. You know what I mean? Why I just more or less try and draw that stuff, because with all the stuff that's been coming out, like
Hmm.
you know the Avengers and all of that, and all these other movies, it's
But when you say some of the supervillains have a little bit stronger like character, have like that, just like stronger inspiration, like he's a fucking badass, but he's so evil. Like
yeah,
like Thanos, the Joker. Is just I love the Joker.
yeah.
He's like he's so insane, but also you're like
It makes
it's
sense.
so smart. He's like, is he really insane, or is it just like he
Are we
just
the
sees
crazy
it? He
ones?
just sees the end goal.
Yeah.
Like he sees what he has to do, and he just gets it done. And that's the Joker. Like he manipulates people to the best.
Yeah.
I mean, especially Batman. Like he manipulates Batman. Like even throughout all the comic books
Yeah.
and cartoons of Batman and Joker. Like even though he loses, he still
Still, yep.
wins
Mm-hmm.
because Batman can't ever defeat him.
Yeah.
And the Joker, his main thing is all like, I don't want to kill you.
Yeah.
You're so much fun. Like I thought when they threw that in the movie
Yeah. And
with the
Dark
Joker,
Knight.
yeah, the
Yeah.
Dark Knight, I was like, yes, they connected it to the comic
Yeah.
books.
He was a good one.
Yeah, Heath Ledger was an amazing Batman. It's a sad story about tragedy about his death after that.
Yeah.
I mean, you know the story, like what was supposed to happen with that trilogy.
I know he was supposed to be in the third one, but I didn't know what was.
Well, it wasn't supposed to be Bane. It was supposed to be another
Yeah.
Joker movie, but then Heath
Yeah.
Ledger died, and they had to create a whole different storyline. That's why I feel like the one with Bane and Ra's al Ghul wasn't really.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a good movie, but still wouldn't have been as good as like a Joker and Batman sequel.
Yeah, I think that's what everyone wanted.
Because it really tested like Batman's character to
Yeah.
like that point, and just to see him like how he would react again, seeing the person that made him basically like decide between his love and the I guess the angel for Gotham City.
Yeah.
Like he chose his love, but ended up saying the person he didn't want to save,
Yeah,
and then he ended
mind
up
games.
killing that person in the end. So it's all like, what was all this for?
Yeah.
You just got played by the Joker.
Yeah.
Like the best, like thought out, long term. Like how do I fuck someone over?
Yeah.
Like that's the Joker, and that's what I think like is awesome about his character.
Yeah.
Even the old Batman's like it's just the Joker character. How like is he really that insane, or is it just really smart?
Yeah.
But who is your favorite supervillain?
That's hard. Dang. That's hard. I want to say Venom, but he's kind of an anti-hero now, so I don't know if that counts. But definitely,
Why Venom? Why Venom?
well, mainly the look, and I'm a big fan of Todd McFarlane, so he created him, and that was a genius idea. And yeah, I guess like Spider-Man is my favorite Marvel hero, so that would just kind of, like he was such like his opposite kind of, so that was cool. Like I think that's more or less mainly why. But then he's fun to draw. But
Yeah.
but
But it's like
I think character-wise, I like Doctor Doom a lot just cuz his like no, he doesn't care attitude, you know what I mean? Like he's a king and whatever, so he doesn't take crap.
going back to Venom, it's like you like Venom the parasite, or Venom the character that plays underneath, like the person Venom takes over. You like the host, or just the parasite Venom?
Not okay, I guess to be specific, the Eddie Brock Venom, because the both of them together was
Oh wow,
he
you're
was a
going old
badass.
school with this.
He was a badass. Like I said, like I know now he's I think in the newer comics he finally got back to Eddie Brock, so that's cool. But before that, he was kind of like an anti-hero with Flash Thompson or whatever when he was Agent Venom.
And it's supposed to be, who's supposed to be playing Venom? Tom Hardy?
Yeah, in the movie, yeah. Yeah.
That's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, it's promising. I'm just hoping. I don't know what they're gonna do with the rumors of Spider-Man not being in there or whatever. Like you can't.
Why? What's the rumors?
Well, that it wasn't gonna be like there's mentions of Spider-Man or whatever, but like that he wasn't gonna be in the movie. And not that he needs to be in the movie, but like,
is it supposed to be
they
like?
were saying he wasn't gonna be mentioned in the movie at all, or something like that. And I was just thinking like Venom has the spider on his chest and everything. Where does he get that from? Like that was a Spider-Man thing from the
Well, wasn't it because like Venom actually got to Peter Parker first, and then since
and he was
Spider-Man, like it influenced, like it gave that parasite an identity.
Yeah,
it gave Venom its identity.
Yeah, but I still feel like you would need Spider-Man for that. Like you can't just have Venom without the thing because that looks weird. I don't know. Like I wouldn't like that. I don't think.
Well,
I don't think too many fans would either.
Isn't it that Venom's always trying to get back to Peter Parker in the comic books? Like he's always trying to reconnect with him.
I think it would prefer him, but
maybe that's why he always had the spider on his chest.
Yeah, I think for sure though it's grown accustomed to Eddie because even now after all those years when it was with Flash Thompson, now it's gone back to Eddie. You know what I mean? So I would think that it would prefer him mostly because Spider-Man won't take it,
Spider-Man knows no evil. He only knows good. So, who would you say is like Venom's worst enemy then? Worst foe?
Venom's worst enemy? Probably enemy Carnage or Spider-Man for sure, I guess, just because they're both, well, Carnage is like his offspring, so and hates him, so I would think that would be probably his biggest enemy.
For sure. What when I was trying to relate this to Venom, but like why did you call Venom like the anti-hero? Why is he the anti-hero now? Like in your mind?
Well, mostly, like I said, when the symbiote went with Flash, I think that's when I kind of considered him more or less for sure, like not a, no, he was a hero, I guess, considered then, because he was more or less, Flash wasn't the same guy, but
Yeah.
Eddie, when he is with Eddie Brock and some of the storylines, like he's not, like just a straight up bad guy, like he's going after criminals or not, just like innocent people or whatever. Like he had, I think when he first started in the comics, I remember, I think he was like eating people or something. Like it was crazy, like like their brains or something like that. I don't remember what it was. Is a way back, but I just remember him being like Spider-Man considered him pretty evil, and in the the comics, the way they wrote him, it was like okay, but then they started changing him to like
basically like they're the anti-hero because they're trying to find their own path. Like they're trying to get back to the path that they were on, but they run into obstacles that make them seem like they're kind of a hero, but they don't really like. No, that's not me. That's not what I want to do.
Yeah, or just I mean, like how I guess in that case, like Spider-Man probably wouldn't trust that Brock was a good guy, or you know what I mean. So like he still sees him as a bad guy, but he's trying to do good, and I guess that's what I would consider like an anti-hero, like someone that is still trying to do good, but he has that bad rep, or you know what I mean.
Well, it's like if you want to relate it to like another character, I believe like the Silver Surfer is one of those anti-heroes because his goal isn't to like help all these helpless worlds.
Yeah.
Once he turns against Galactica.
Yeah, Galactus and has them going.
Galactus. He's just trying to get back home to his home world to find his love.
Yeah.
And just along the way, he just runs into all these problems. Yeah. So like, all right, well, since I'm here, I don't really want to help y'all, but you're kind of in my way.
Yeah.
So rather than destroying y'all, I'll get this out. I'll help y'all.
Yeah.
That's what I got from Silver Surfer, just to break it down. That's just my concept of the Silver Surfer.
Yeah, I mean that would fit in the anti-hero category, I think. And especially Deadpool, like.
Now, is he an anti-hero or is he just a lunatic?
I mean, he does try to do some good, I think, but the way he goes about it is not the best. I don't.
It's hilarious the way he goes at it. I mean, he basically shows it how like a real person would be like, you know what? Fuck him.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get him back. When I get back to him and I finally catch it to him, I'm gonna break his arms. I'm gonna chop off his legs. Like he just goes like insane. Like just like he's just pure like crazy thoughts.
Yeah.
Like there's no filter going through his mind. No. Like it's just all like I'm gonna do this to him. I'm gonna torture him like this, and then if he dies, I'll just do this. It's just crazy. I mean, I think that's one of the best things is what makes Deadpool so great. It's just that he's one of the few characters that like acts like this is like his world is a fantasy world, and he's all like talking to the audience like, yeah, watch what's gonna happen now, guys.
Yeah,
I think that's so hilarious. I don't think there's really any other Marvel or Capcom character that lives outside their world like Deadpool does.
For DC, they would still kind of think. I just had his name in my head. Red Hood. I don't know why I couldn't think. I was thinking.
Oh yeah, Red Hood. Yeah.
But I consider him an anti-hero. He was kind of a bad guy at first, but I think in more or less in the newer comics, he's kind of been working with Batman again and everyone else. So.
Yeah, but I mean, like they talk to the audience.
Oh no one. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's Deadpool's the only one that breaks the fourth wall.
The only other cartoon character that I know that talks to the audience is
Frankie Muniz.
I was gonna say Rick Sanchez from Rick and Morty.
Oh yeah.
Because sometimes he'll be like at the end of the show, he's like, "All right, guys, that's the end of the show. Go away. We'll catch you next week." And
that's funny.
He's like, or he'll be like, he'll just go off on one of his rants, just like talking on towards the audience on the TV. I'm just like, oh, this is awesome. Like, it's all like, is he living in an alternate reality or something? Like, it's like none of the other characters, like they just look at him when he's going off,
talking
like,
yeah,
like kind of like a. I wonder if they got that idea off. Now that I'm thinking about it, I wonder if they got that idea off of like House of Cards.
Oh, okay.
Because you know how like sometimes when Underwood would just go off on that spiel, like when he's just talking to the audience. Yeah. It was a great show, but Kevin Spacey had some issues. I can't believe they canceled. They immediately canceled that show after that. That's crazy. It just left it hanging.
Yeah, that's, man. I don't know. I definitely know like they're probably not gonna pick that up anytime soon. But that's crazy. Like I mean, like a reboot or nothing. I don't imagine they're doing that.
It's done.
Like, that's they're not gonna finish
all Spacey's like legacies are just done out the window.
That's gonna be one of those shows where they like you're like, what the hell? How did it end? You know, like now it never had an ending kind of thing. Like that's crazy.
Yeah, we can all make our own ending. That's the best thing about today's world. Like given the technology and just the equipment that's available, like you can make your own movies.
Yeah.
And I find it amazing how like there's just kids out there that make like their YouTube channels.
Yeah.
Like movies, just like, wow, how'd they do this with like an 8-year-old? 8-year-old, 10-year-old just making amazing video clips.
That's crazy.
Like all special effects. I'm like, are the parents helping them?
I was going to say, they're probably getting help from their parents.
I don't know. Because sometimes when they have their parents on, it's all like,
they don't even know what they're doing.
Yeah. I think it's just awesome how, like, today's world is just changing. Like, how many different ways you can express yourself.
Yeah.
Not only through art, but through media, through even just words that you post online. Yeah. But for sure. What are your plans? Like, what to go, like what steps are you looking forward to accomplishing?
Well, I know there's a bunch of like online workshops that like, you know, comic book companies will post or, you know, around certain times, and like, you know, they'll give you like a draft, you know, of something to draw out, like a script to draw out, and you know, if it's good enough then you can get accepted. But that's something I've been trying to work on. I guess that's why I also want to do the shows, is again to get, you know, people's feedback, and if that works, then I'm gonna, you know, start trying to do those kind of things to actually get a shot in there, you know.
Well,
but
Instagram, post more stuff on Instagram, put more tags on it.
Yeah.
Eventually, you'll get people that start commenting. I mean, I've gotten people commenting about my pictures that I haven't ever had people comment on before. So it's like, tell me a great shot or something. I'm like, yeah. I'm not gonna be like, in my head, I'm like, yeah, that's a great shot. That's what I posted.
Yeah.
But I appreciate the appreciation.
Yeah. There's like a few times where like famous artists or something, they'll like a post that I did, you know, something I drew, and I'm like, oh, I'll screenshot that just to, you know, have proof. But yeah, like I get excited with those times because I'm like, hey, I feel like I have potential now. But I mean, not that like I said, I know I have some kind of talent, but it's just always like not like an ego boost, but you know, it's like, oh, they liked it, so I have a shot, or you know.
The main thing is that you just keep grinding it out, man. You just keep practicing, keep doing your craft, always enhancing it, even exploring like new disciplines.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, when we were talking about Australia earlier, how you think it would be awesome to visit Australia.
Yeah.
I think the city that would fit you best is Melbourne.
Okay.
Because as you're walking through the streets, you just see artwork everywhere.
Dang.
Like, I mean, everywhere, and then
like on the buildings, or what do you like?
On the buildings, on the side of the buildings, and then like you'll see like them scattered out, but then they have these alleyways. There's probably about 5 or 6 alleyways that are just covered in art.
Dang.
from the walls, from the top of the buildings, depending on whoever gets there, like what equipment they bring. If they bring like a lift, they'll lift
All the
themselves
way.
up and then just paint all the way down, or they'll paint on the ground that people walk on.
Dang.
Because I mean, there's a lot of times if you don't look down, like you can miss out on some like amazing artwork.
That's crazy.
And then even then, like on the busy streets where like the main crowds go down, there'll be artists like they'll lay down what's that black material paper? I think they use it for like chalk or something because they're doing like chalk artwork.
Oh, okay.
But they'll just draw out these amazing like elaborate like art just across the ground and just have people come and look at them. I mean, it's
That's
really
crazy.
a great like I say artsy city just because like how they just let it like fluently just
It's everywhere. Like,
just flow. Like they don't stop anything. They don't hassle anybody about because that's what people want. That's what people want to see.
Yeah.
And I think that's just an amazing place, and like I think you'll get like a lot of inspiration from there. And,
that sounds nice.
Oh yeah, like I posted a picture that my girlfriend took of me when I was over there, and like my logo that my brother drew for me. I thought it was so awesome that I found like this other like monkey ape like face drawing out of there. I was like, oh, this is amazing. This is badass. Like just the timing of being there before like, because they probably repaint that every 2-3 weeks. Because sometimes they paint, someone will spray paint something like somebody else might not agree with, and then they'll just like vandalize it, and then it just gets to the point where someone just paints over it. So
Starting you.
because I think it's rude and wrong to like, no matter what art it is. I mean, if it's something like horribly bad, I can understand, but come on, they're just expressing their idea for that. It's not. It's a painting.
Yeah.
Now I can understand like if it's like gruesome, like chopping someone's head off, maybe, yeah. But not someone just expressing their love for someone else.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, even in Australia, like it's sad to say, like there's some people like that in Australia, but at least it's more open over there. Like the amount of art that you can see just in public versus going down to like the museum.
Yeah, that's cool.
Sorry.
No, you're fine.
Now, sorry to interrupt. Going on a tangent like that.
No, that's fine.
But continue on with like the further steps like you would like to see yourself do.
Well, yeah, for sure. Like I said, do those workshops, and start getting better or expanding my media. You know what I mean? Like I said, I wanted to get into digital art and stuff, so that's something. Then of course, like airbrushing, like I can do stuff like that. So that way I have like a bunch of like tools in my arsenal, I guess. You know.
Have you dealt with the spray painting and all that?
I've not for long. I've done it. I think barely like the past 3-4 months maybe. Yeah, I think I just started trying to mess around with that. But
is that expensive? That seems expensive because it seems like you can go through a whole like spray can in like 5 minutes. Doing that.
I try not to. I think I usually work with the canvases about that size because I had just bought like ahead of time like a stack of them because they were on sale. So I had just bought a bunch of them and now I have that to work on and stuff. But yeah, that's more I try and keep it small so I don't want to use like all one color, but I'll start trying to mix. You know what I mean? Like using cardboard to like block certain parts and use newspaper and everything to get like textures and stuff like that. But yeah. I still need practice, but I'm getting there.
Hey, you'll get there. That's the main thing. Is just practicing, keening in on your skills, making that furthering your discipline, whether it's with your hand or with your mind.
Yeah.
What is your setup like? Where do you mainly do like your drawings and your paint? Where are you mainly doing that?
It'd be nice if I had an office, but unfortunately, it's either like I have like a little lap desk type thing. I'll draw on that. Like if I'm just in the living room or something like that, or like on my bed or whatever. But if not, then I have like a desk I draw at, or there's a table in the living room that I'm always drawing on and stuff. So I mean, I guess with that lap desk, I kind of draw everywhere. But yeah, I don't have like a one area that I usually draw with or draw at.
I mean, I think that would be like beneficial, even if you just create a small space, even in your bedroom or maybe in the garage
Yeah.
or in the backyard. Like I think that would be very beneficial because it kind of just it surrounds you with your own creativity.
Hmm.
It just blocks everything out, all the outside visual and
Yeah.
sound noise, like just noises.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I have the desk in my room, but that's usually like if I'm not drawing on there, then like I'll have some either like some mail or just random things that kind of take up the space on there that I always have to clean
Well,
off of.
then like let's say you're even tired, like even though it's in your bedroom, like you'll see your bed, you're like, "Ah, I'm gonna take a break." But let's say like you put a curtain around your bed,
Oh,
and then
okay.
that way you're just all like, so that way your peripheral views doesn't even see your bed, and then you're all
Yeah.
like, maybe you're just tired because your brain sees that bed and it wants
Yeah,
you to
yeah.
relax. Where if you block that out,
I just keep going.
yeah, you keep going, or you get inspiration to do something else
Yeah.
because you don't have that noise, that visual noise.
Yeah.
Because
That
I
makes
mean,
sense.
well, it's just things that I've learned. Like if if you have something like out of what you're trying to focus on, like it's going to distract you. It's going
Yeah.
to give you that little bit of resistance. That's why why musicians have studios,
Hmm.
because it surrounds them with just all the equipment,
Yeah.
all their everything. Like you bring in stuff that helps you be creative, that um, will maybe spark an idea or spark a memory. Like I
Yeah.
was telling you about these
The
Formula One
cars.
cars, like how my brother got me the Mika Hakkinen one back in 2000 and went to a race up in Houston. Like because I was a avid Formula One fan when I was like younger. Like I followed them, wake up at like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning just to watch a race on the other side of the world that no one else cared about. But yeah, Mika Hakkinen was one of my favorites, and then along came Juan Pablo Montoya, which is this one over here,
Hmm.
and he's like one of those like attitude drivers, just full of passion. You know what I mean? He's from Colombia, so
Oh, okay.
that should be like explain enough about his character. But man, he would just like stick it to anybody that would just get in his face, or even if like you're like the multi-world champion for several years, like he'll run him off the road. I just liked his attitude. Like he didn't give any crap. Like he took no crap from anybody, no
Yeah.
matter what championships you won or if it's like your first race. Like so,
Yeah.
like I'm gonna treat you the same way because I want to win.
Yeah.
And yeah, but my dad got me this one. I think 2005 or 2006, like just random at a yard sale, and I was like ecstatic. I mean, it was kind of like oh, he switched teams, but you know, it's my favorite driver.
Yeah.
Like favorite driver, second favorite driver, and uh, when I went to that race in Melbourne in 2016, it's nothing like it. Just watching a Formula One race, I
Yeah.
like you should like. I know you're talking about travel.
Hmm.
Like there's Formula race in Austin, I think around October September time. I mean, just go up there, check it out, man. Uh, Artists, like I think you get like a lot of inspiration just from that all that noise,
Yeah.
like the noise, the crowd, just seeing how people are intertangling with one another, how machines work, how loud a machine can
Yeah.
be, just sitting idling versus when it just takes off roaring down the racetrack. Like it's real amazing. You said you haven't really gone out of Texas much, but
Yeah.
where have you gone inside of Texas?
Austin, Green, Bernie, Corpus. I think that's probably about it.
Yeah, get out more. How
Yeah,
old are you?
I do.
How old are you?
24.
24. Man, go out to California. Go out to New Mexico.
Yeah. New Mexico, that's somewhere I was thinking about, but
Taos, New Mexico. You would love it.
I do not like the heat.
It doesn't get hot in New Mexico.
Oh, okay, cool. I was always thinking it'd be kind of hotter there.
No.
Or like drier for some reason.
It's a little bit drier, but it's comfortable. Like it gets 70 during the day. Well, I was there during the summer for, I think, the whole month of June.
Mm-hmm.
It was like get to 70, 75 at the highest. But then since you're up in the mountains. Oh, they're here?
That's what.
When you get up to the mountains, since you're up in the mountains, it drops down to like almost freezing, like 35, 36.
Dang.
But it's still comfortable. It's not like...
I mean, I've seen like pictures and stuff, and it looks beautiful. You know, that's why I'm like that. I would love to go like, just to like hike. You know what I mean? Like something like that. Because like I've been to
Wheeler's Peak near Taos. You'll like Taos, because it's an artsy town. Like it's really like a bunch of artists go there to share like their art. Like if you go on my Instagram, you'll find I posted like a painting, a stencil drawing of a artist that drew like two people in a sexual position, and it was worth I think like $400 or $500. It was a couple $100. I was just like, wow, a couple $100 for this. Like it's pretty good, but still, I'm like, wow. And I asked the artist. I was like, you sell these? He's like, oh yeah. I was like, wow. Dang. Like I can't afford this.
But like like the pictures I've seen, like the like the hills and like mountains and stuff, it looks awesome. Like I'd want to try and do that. That'd be fun.
Oh yeah, Wheeler's Peak, man. Go up to Wheeler's Peak. Like I said, it's near Taos. Probably go out there during the springtime. If you like skiing, go up there during the winter. They have skis.
Never have.
All right, go during the summer and springtime. Have you ever wakeboarded?
Yeah, I wasn't really successful with that. I think the fact that I can't swim water just puts me. I mean, I'm still like I'm kind of tall, so I don't mind getting in the water, but like at a certain point, once it's like above 5 feet, I'm like, I'm not gonna go up to my neck in water. No.
So, you're not one of those people when you go out to the beach, you don't like go past your knees or something?
I'll go up to like where it's my chest, and then once that starts getting under, I'm backing up. I'm turning around.
I have some friends that are all like, oh, I'll just go there and I'll go about waist high. I'm like, why? Oh, the undertow. I'm like, no, you just swim at an angle.
Yeah.
And then they're all like, well, what about all the sharks and everything? I'm like, nah.
I mean, I've only gone to lakes, so I've never had that fear, but I'm always just thinking like a turtle or something's gonna bite my foot or something. I'm like not as bad as a shark, but still kind of painful.
Well, like I love surf fishing at the beach, and like when you're surf fishing, sometimes like you go out past like the second sandbar, and when you're out that far, sometimes when the waves are coming because they're kind of like a little rough, you'll just feel something like hit your leg twice in like a split second, like oh.
Was that something?
Hopefully that wasn't like a shark. Hopefully it was just like a really big fish.
Yeah.
And then also like for me, when I'm out there, I don't think about all those things. I just think about like being in that moment. Yes, there are sharks out there. Yes, there's jellyfishes, but you gotta have fun. You can't a jellyfish, as long as it's not that deadly jellyfish that Australia has, it's fine.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think a sting would hurt that bad, but.
And most of the time, sharks stay away from people. Like, they really do not like to eat people just because we have a bad taste. So they just confuse us as something else. And it sucks because when it does happen, the things really turn out bad. Yeah. But it's unfortunate. But I just think people should just view the ocean as something, like, beautiful and mystery at the same time. Like, it is. It's just a whole different world.
Yeah. And, of course, since, I don't think they've, what is it, like, they haven't discovered, like, so much amount of the ocean or whatever, like, that's something you want to,
5%.
Yeah.
Like, all the land's been, like all the underwater like landscape has been mapped,
Mm-hmm.
but like actually like going down there and
Yeah.
exploring like what creatures are down there. And that's why anytime like they have a deep dive,
They're always finding newer things.
yeah, they're always finding some new weird species
Yeah.
that didn't even think could live down there. Like for the longest time, before like the first deep sea dive, like for the longest time, people thought you needed the sun to have life,
Mm-hmm.
and then deep down where, because
Anglerfish and stuff like that.
because sunlight only goes, I think, maybe 1,500 meters down. Maybe I'm wrong. Probably wrong. But I know it's like it's not really that deep. Like 500 meters, like light starts to dissipate, and like when you go like these divers, deep sea divers, going 2, 3, 4 miles down. I think the Mariana Trench is what 36,000 feet down. So do the math. That's probably like 5 miles underwater.
Yeah.
Like the amount of pressure that is being down there, and just how those creatures can survive at that pressure.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's weird. Like just imagine, to break it down even more simpler. Imagine this atmosphere, and then the pressure that you feel times that by like 6, and that's what it feels like.
Yeah.
Like just squeezing down.
Yeah, like I wouldn't even imagine. That would. Oh no. Like I know like what is it? There how I don't know like the exact amount it is like that a person can dive down, but like I could just imagine that feeling. Like you know what I mean? Like you're just like your ribs are crushing and stuff.
Well, you have to exhale. Like you have to blow all the air out, so that way it gives your organs room to like
be compressed.
Yeah, be compressed.
That's crazy.
But then like as they come back up, they have to hold certain depths, so that way their organs expand out.
Oh, okay. Because they're not just trying to go all the way.
Because if you go up too fast, the molecules expand too fast. Like the gas in your lungs and organs expand too fast. Oops. They just expand too fast and can cause like a lung rupture or something like that. Or you get a nitrogen buildup, which can kill you like that. Which is funny because our atmosphere is like made up like 80% nitrogen, 80 or 60% nitrogen. It's been a while since I looked at all that science stuff. But where can people get a hold of you?
Pretty much only on Instagram for the moment. But I mean, I haven't really branched out like as social media or nothing. But like that's something I'm planning to work on.
Or even an email. Do you have an email that people could maybe shoot you a line to?
Oh yeah, I just it's johndluis8@gmail.com. But yeah, it's really just those two, just my email, and I only really I guess use that for like businessy stuff.
Well, continue posting more, man. Yeah. Post more. Get someone to record you when you're in your moment drawing. Like I think that'll be like a great thing to show. Is just an artist in their mode, just when they're drawing, like in the middle of it, because that's a lot of times like I know it's hard to display that because you're working on your craft and you don't want to show something until it's like finished. Yeah. But I think it's one thing to like show your project as you're working on it, and then show it when you think it's ready to be shown. Yeah. Like to go from where it was at to showing the steps of the progression of finishing it. Like, I think that's awesome. Like that'd be like I was telling you, like that knife maker, like just the progression that he goes, and then he'll even like take time to break it down on a dry erase board, like in diagram, show like what he's trying to do to the metal. And I think that's awesome.
Yeah, that's cool. So, I mean, I
just ideas.
I was gonna say I don't know if I could break it down that complicated, but like of course I think watching it would just be a lot easier. Well,
I think the main thing is just if you started doing it, you start to form your own ideas. You start to say like, well, maybe they don't quite understand what I'm trying to do here, and I'll just break it down. Like what I'm trying to do, such and such, is that I want to bring this type of, like I have this idea, and I'm trying to formulate it onto the paper or something like that. Yeah. I don't know. Like if you decide to do it, like it'll come to your mind. Like, but But anyways, I greatly appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for having me.
I wish we would have done that show last night.
Yeah.
Even though it's the rain and all that.
Yeah.
But
hindsight, I should have done it.
but hey, it's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful weekend.
Yeah.
I say go out and enjoy it.
Yeah.
But,
plus, I mean, there's always going to be more shows. So.
Oh yeah.
I'm
That's
ready for
always the positive outlook. There's always something else down the road.
Yeah.
But awesome, John. Greatly appreciate you coming on. Greatly.
Thank you.
Everything. Thank you to everyone that watches this, listens to it. Greatly appreciate it. Hope y'all have a wonderful time, a wonderful weekend. I'm off to the beach. Y'all be nice to one another. Till the next podcast. Hopefully one next Saturday. Till then, take it easy. Be nice to one another out there. Bye.